Michelle, thank you so much for being here. How are you doing?
I'm great, Sharon. Thanks for having me.
So glad you're here because we are dying to talk to you about Harry and Meghan's new home in the seaside town of Santa Barbara, which is roughly 100 miles north of Los Angeles. Now, for the past 4 months, the Sussexes have been staying at Tyler Perry's LA estate while house hunting. And last week, we learned that, in fact, they had moved into their new Santa Barbara dig sometime in July, correct?
That's right. So, yes, previously they've been staying with Tyler Perry, and a source close to the couple told us that they were really so grateful to him for giving them that kind of, haven while they were trying to sort things out, particularly as the pandemic threw their plans into disarray. So, yes, they had been house hunting for the past several months, and they finally found their dream home.
So first question, why Santa Barbara? Why not LA?
So the source told us that they were looking for a smaller community. They really wanted a slower pace, and that Santa Barbara provides that. Santa Barbara is also really just gorgeously scenic. It's got mountains, ocean, gardens just bursting with fragrant blooms. It's a really lovely place to live, and that drew them in. The source told us it's magical there.
Wow, and then near Meghan's mother as well.
Exactly. So Megan's mom, Doria, lives in the LA area, and that puts them within, as you say, it's about 95 miles or so up the Pacific coast. So that gives them pretty close by babysitting.
Very convenient. Okay, now the house, how much did it cost? How many bedrooms? We need to know everything.
So the house is large. It has 9 bedrooms, and it's sold for a reported $14 million. Not not chump change for sure. But yeah, that it's a lot of space for them.
Now, your article in this week's People quotes a source saying the couple put down a third of the cost and took out a mortgage for the rest. So we punched those numbers into a mortgage calculator. Yes, we did. And for a 30-year loan, it looks like they're on the hook for a monthly payment of roughly $43,000. So I'm sure it's some house. And I understand Archie loves it as well.
Yes, and let's just say, royals with a mortgage is kind of a new and exciting concept. Yes, they indeed are paying a mortgage on this house. And an insider told us that there was no outside financial assistance. And as you said, this is the first time they're homeowners, which is really exciting for both of them. Archie is, in fact, loving it. The source told us that he is, he has plenty of space to roam now, and the home actually came with a play structure, and the source said he's going to be climbing it in no time.
Wow, I bet. What can you tell us about the timing of the move and how really the past few months haven't exactly gone to plan, as you mentioned, largely due to the pandemic? Your article also quotes a source to explain how Harry and Meghan originally had other plans.
That's right. A lot of people have speculated, they were always planning to end up in Los Angeles or in, California. And in fact, the source told us that is not true. And the proof of that is that they never would have gone to all the trouble of making that pit stop on Vancouver Island as they did, staying in Canada. And in fact, their original intention had been to divide their time in Canada, which is a Commonwealth country and part of the, the Commonwealth of Nations that the Queen presides over in her role, and that due to a variety of factors, including, of course, the pandemic and tensions and, all, as we know, a lot of complications when they stepped away from royal duty, they just found that that was not going to be possible.
Got it. Makes sense. Now, since this is the first home that Harry and Meghan have ever owned, this must be a big moment for them, right?
It absolutely is. A source told us that this is, in fact, a pivotal moment for them, that they have been going through some pretty turbulent times, as we know, and even some more turbulence, I think, than a lot of people are aware of. And this home represents permanency for them. And for the first time, it's giving them a real focus on building their life together, their future together. And they're so relieved and grateful for that.
Now, the past few years certainly have been a whirlwind for Harry and Meghan. And in fact, that's one thing I kept thinking while reading Finding Freedom, just how jam-packed and rather stressful their past 3 to 4 years have been.
It's true. I think it's hard to have the perspective on it when we're sort of in the granular, what happened today, what happened yesterday, what's going to happen tomorrow. But when you take those steps back, and the book Finding Freedom does a really good job of that, and put it into perspective, how much of an intense and yes, rocky at times journey this couple has had. I mean, my goodness, Meghan, coming from a life as an American actress to a member of the royal family at lightning speed, and then not necessarily receiving the welcome that they had hoped for, and not getting the kind of warm embrace from the institution in particular that Meghan and Harry had really wanted, and Harry had really wanted for his wife. Plus, of course, they got married, they welcomed Archie, so parenthood, marriage, royal family life, that's a lot.
Real whirlwind. Well, I think we all hope they'll find some peace and plenty of happiness in their new home. Thank you so much for joining us, Michelle. Great reporting as always.
Thank you, Sharon.